Hey everyone, welcome. As many of you guys know, we've been running the Pirelli Scorpion XC RC tires for quite a few seasons now, but last year when we went to Lake Placid, I had the chance to see in person the Mezcal and the Peyote, the XC race tires. Well, fast forward to this season when I installed the Mezcal front and a Peyote rear on my bike. So if you're looking for a fast, light tire in 2025, here's a quick comparison between the XC RC from Pirelli and the Vittoria, Mezcal, and Peyote. And I mentioned fast rolling tires, and that's what these are supposed to be. They're used in cross country at the highest level of competition, but I would argue that given their properties, these would make for really good tires for most of us, especially in summer. And if not front and back, they will definitely make for a really good rear tire that can be combined with something that's a bit more aggressive. You look here at this, the medium Pirelli Scorpion, that it is a bit more aggressive than the two tires or the three tires that I'm going to talk to you about today. As of right now, we only have 29er bikes in our roster, and we like larger volume tires, so 29er 2.4 at least. And obviously the overall volume of the tire is important. If you look here at the details of the Peyote, Mezcal, and the XC RC side by side, you're gonna see that they all measure 60 millimeters or so. That's pretty much what both Pirelli and Vittoria mentioned on their packaging. So from a volume perspective, these are all the same. One thing that Pirelli introduced a couple of years ago and looks like the market pretty much started to copy is the use of a single compound. They called it the Smart Grip compound. Well, Vittoria, even though they used to have 3-4 compounds on a tire, right now they're using the same idea of one compound per entire tire. What is the value of that? Well, the tire is going to perform similarly or pretty much the same as the tread wears out. When it comes to the lowest pressure that they recommend, Vittoria recommends 20 psi as the absolute minimum you see here on the sidewall. You look at Pirelli and they mention 22 psi. Well, for our cross-country racing applications, we're running these tires anywhere between 16.5 and 20 psi, so definitely under what they specify. So when I talk to you about suppleness of the two tires, keep that in mind. Which one is more supple? Which one provides me with more comfortable ride and ultimately probably more grip? Well, let's leave the grip aside and say that Scorpion, the Pirelli's offering both the Pro Wall, which is the thicker sidewall, and the light casing. They give me options to ride them Pro Wall front, so thicker casing up front and lighter casing in the back. That also allows me to run an insert like this with the light casing. This provides sidewall support and also provides me with great puncture resistance. I did not run any sort of insert with the Vittorias. They only come with race casing. And also the weight of these tires, the Pirelli tires, are lighter overall. The Pro Wall is around 700 grams, and I've had many pairs of tires. They all measure around there. The light version of the Pirellis, these ones come up to about 630, 640 grams. So if I add a 60, 70 gram insert, I end up with about a 700 gram tire front and rear, which for me is the sweet spot for a cross-country application. If you look at the Vittorias, they are supposed to be about 740 grams to start with. The weight goes anywhere between 735 to 780 grams. So if you're looking at every gram you can save, I would say that you have more options with the Pirellis, and overall these are lighter tires compared to the Vittorias. So from a weight, comfort, and flexibility of using inserts for low weight, I would give the nod to Pirellis again, but you could argue that none of this matter if the tires are not that good overall. And yes, we've had extensive time to use the Pirellis in all kind of configurations. The bike behind me, I am using a season-old Pro World Tires front and rear, and we like them a lot. We like the cornering with them a lot. Mezcal, I had to get used to this. This is installed up front on my bike. Peyote is in the rear. And what I can tell you is that it took me a little bit of time to get used to these because they are a bit more pingy. They are not as supple. The sidewalls are not as supple as the Pirelli, but I got used to it right now and I don't think I see a big difference between the two. What's important though is the overall grip, and I will continue to say that the XC RC from Pirelli, these are the best tires, cross-country tires that we've ever run. Definitely for a front tire. And that's where the Mezcal differs a little bit. Now I got used to it and I know how to load the tire a bit more, but otherwise the Mezcal kept me a bit drifty in comparison with the XC RC. When it comes to the Peyote rear though, that tire is definitely fast, and it's something that I think I can feel even myself. At the highest level of competition, you're gonna see racers using that Peyote front and rear, which for me would be a bit scary because I think it's not that good when it comes to braking. You have that minimal tread on it, and it's gonna be a bit drifty when you are braking while cornering. Really fast though, and I don't have any ways to measure that rolling resistance myself, but if you look online, you're gonna see that the Scorpion XC RC Lite comes up to about 29 watts, whereas the Peyote and the Mezcal are in the low 20s, 20.5, 22.5 or so. Obviously, none of that really matters, the rolling resistance, if these tires feel sketchy. And as a front tire, Mezcal feels all right once you get used to it. Again, remember, a bit drifty. XC RC feels awesome. But one other thing that could be interesting is how they behave when, you know, rocks and roots are a bit wet, when you get caught in the middle of the trail by a bit of rain. And in that regard, I would say that I have a lot more confidence in the XC RC. When I tested these initially, I got caught by the rain right in the woods, and I was impressed by the level of grip. After running these Vittorias this season and being caught in the rain, I'm gonna leave you with this raw footage from the race because I think it exemplifies pretty well what I was feeling at the time. All right, just finished first race on my new Peyote rear, Mezcal front, and what can I tell you? These tires are fast, man. They're fast, but anything that's a bit wet, whether that's rocks or roots, stay away because it's gonna feel like ice. So yes, super fast tires, but these are not the Pirelli XC RC. They're not. And what can I say? We're quite a few races after that right now, and I still believe that the Vittoria tires are super fast if the conditions are right. If we're talking longevity, in our 3 seasons using the XC RC, we've only had flats on the light casing as expected. However, we continue to use the tires with a little tubeless plug, as you see it over here. Otherwise, you're gonna notice that the tires get worn out when you see that wear here on the sidewall, and that's usually when I tend to replace them. The Vittorias used for half a season so far, and they don't show any major sign of wear, so these might last longer. When it comes to versatility and options though, nothing beats the XC RC, and I don't know if you guys noticed that Pirelli just launched their new Race XC, something along those lines, is the new version of the XC RC. So these tires made for the race teams. I'm looking forward to checking them out whenever I get my hands on them. But for the time being, I hope you guys found this useful. I really wanted to share my experience with you all. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you liked the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And until next time, hope to see you folks on the trails. Why not running some super light and speedy tires out there? Cheers, guys. Cheers.